My name is Erin Turner, and this is my tort liability for Module 12, EDL 850. What is tort liability? Well, Black's Law Dictionary defines a tort as a civil wrongdoing for which a remedy may be obtained, usually in the form of damages. Tort claims usually involve state law and are based on the idea that individuals are liable for the consequences of their action. Same situation for educators. Tort law is based on the legal premise that individuals are liable for the consequences of their own conduct or lack thereof when such actions result in an injury to others. So if your conduct results in the injury of someone else, or if your lack of conduct results in the injury of someone else, that's considered a tort liability. The first case I looked at was Johnson Johnson versus the School District of Millard. In 1993, a first grader at Willa Cather Elementary School was injured during music class. The child, Robbie Johnson, was thrown during a game of London Bridge. While he was caught in the arms of two classmates, they accidentally released hands, and he ended up headfirst in a bookcase. The child received about 50 stitches above his right eye, but the injury went into the bone and also divided the muscle. He suffered blurred vision and headaches as a result. He stated when questioned that he had told the other children they were going too fast and to please stop multiple times, and that the teacher had her back to the class and was writing on the board. For me, this situation would be a situation where you wouldn't have your back to the children. This would be a situation where you want to monitor. If this happened at my school, the teacher and admin would meet to follow up with what caused the incident, what could have prevented the incident, and an accident report would be completed. The proactive measures that could have been taken would be that at the beginning of the school year and as we approach each new quarter, or after a decent amount of a break, the school board safety policies would be reviewed and clarified to all staff, and the school safety policies would be reviewed and clarified to all students. The professional ethics for me would be classroom management, review of age and school appropriate activities, safety, and how to follow up with parents about incidents. This would definitely be an incident that would need to come from the music teacher. The second case was Francis Barrett versus USD 259 and Dan Johnson. On August 17, 1998, a senior at Southeast High School in Wichita, Kansas, collapsed on the practice field after football practice. Robert Barrett was transported by ambulance to the hospital where he died the next day. So when practice began at 8 o'clock, the temperature was approximately 83 degrees. So between 8:15 and 10:15, while they were doing their conditioning and their practices, the players were given a 5-minute break every 20 minutes for water. They could either use their own water or they could use the water ring that the school provided. At 10:15, the players were given a 45-minute break. However, as they continued to work and continued to condition and continued to do drills, the temperature continued to climb. Alex's mother did file a suit claiming negligence and gross negligence. If this happened at my school, the coaches, admin, and head of sports would meet to follow up with what caused the incident, what could have prevented the incident, and an accident report would have to be completed. Some possible proactive measures would be a review of the, quote, normal procedures. Maybe what's a normal procedure for practice on a day that's 60 or 70 degrees would not be quite so normal on a day that was 80 degrees and climbing. Students should be offered more water breaks and more opportunities for students to cool down. Perhaps consider an early start time for practices to avoid the heat of day. Some of the professional ethics would be heat safety, the importance of fluids, the importance of cool down, and the importance of checking in with each student. I say that because at one point when Alex mentioned that he didn't feel well and he wanted water, one of the coaches kind of hollered over to him, "Alex, are you okay?" And Alex didn't answer. So it just kind of makes you wonder, did Alex not hear him, or did Alex not answer because maybe he was kind of out of it because of the heat getting to him? Next, I have Collins versus Beausier Parish School Board and William Malaby. So kindergarten recess at a school in Beausier Parish, Louisiana. One teacher is on duty and responsible for approximately 100 students. A kindergartner named Eugene Collins was playing on the horizontal monkey bars. A second student, last name Malaby, wrapped his legs around Eugene and caused both students to fall. The duty teacher at this time was busy preventing other students from throwing dirt at each other and so did not see the incident. However, a child that saw the fall contacted her and she sent for help while she stayed with the students. She stated that had she seen the incident, she would have intervened. In my opinion, 100 students on a playground is a bit much, and perhaps that could have been helped or remedied by an extra body. The rules for use of the monkey bars were reviewed regularly in PE classes and before going out to play on the equipment. If this happened at my school, the duty teacher would meet with admin, proper playground procedures would be reviewed frequently, and accident and incident reports would be filed. Because not only do you need an accident report for the injured child, but you also need to do an incident report or a referral report or whatever you might want to call it for the child who did not wait his turn and who caused the incident to happen. The proactive measures that could be taken would be arranging for extra help during kindergarten recess, to have more staff spread across the large playing area. And some professional ethics, in my opinion, would be child safety, playground safety, more staff to monitor, and the rule review. This next case is Brahotsik versus Millard School District. I apologize for butchering that name. So this is a high school, and PE classes are being held indoors due to inclement weather. At this point, the students were golfing. They had had one class on procedures and safety. David was absent for that class and had never been instructed on any of the procedures or safety. In fact, had never even held a golf club in his hands before. There were 34 boys and 24 girls in the class with one teacher and one student teacher. The boys were on one end of the gym, the girls were on the other end of the gym, and the regular teacher was with the girls and the student teacher was with the boys, just kind of making sure everything was okay. Since all the adults were busy when it became David's turn, a classmate assisted him, showed him how to hold the club, showed him how to stand, showed him what to do. As he got ready to swing, the student made sure that David was clear. But as the student focused on their swing and moved into their swing, David moved in to see what he was doing to get a better view and was struck by the swing. He was rendered unconscious and he actually died 2 days later. The frustrating part about this particular case is that the principal had a set of rules and regulations in place for how this would be handled. She even had a setup for the gym for indoor PE golf lessons. So if this happened in my school, the PE teacher would be questioned as to why the written rules for instruction for mandatory golf classes being held inside were not followed. And extra adults will be brought in, if possible, for extra eyes. The proactive measures that should have been taken, the principal had a method and had an actual drawing of how the gym should be set up. Had this been followed and the rules been followed, then this wouldn't have happened. So that would be the first proactive measure, would be to follow the rules. Secondly, if you review procedures and safety each day before class, then the kids know. You just kind of remind them, this is how you stand, this is what you do if you have the golf club, this is what you do if you're watching somebody with a golf club. You don't want to get too close. And then having extra adults as needed. The professional ethics, in my opinion, would be student safety, following the current written rules on topic, more staff to monitor, and a rule review. Finally, I have Rollins versus Concordia Parish School Board. PE classes are being held for 4th graders. The girls were playing on a merry-go-round, and the boys were playing basketball approximately 15 feet away. There were about 40 students being supervised by a substitute teacher who was walking between the two groups. As she approached the merry-go-round, she noticed that it was going too fast. She reprimanded the girls and asked that they slow it down. And then behind her, as she was watching the merry-go-round, she heard a commotion, raised voices, and someone called her name. So she turned to go see what was going on and to investigate so now she's turned and she's facing away from the merry-go-round, and as she's walking towards the basketball court, one of the girls yells that Lisa has been hurt. Lisa actually fractured her leg. The court originally found the school board negligent, but then upon appeal, it was found that there was adequate supervision with this one adult and 40 children. If this happened at my school, the substitute teacher would be questioned as to why she abandoned what she perceived as a dangerous situation. If you see a dangerous situation, yes, the boys are hollering and yelling for you, but if you tell them, oh, 1 second, I hear you, I will be right with you, let me handle this first, and then make sure that the girls are not only slowing the merry-go-round down, but that nobody is trying to get off while it is still moving. And then I would also ask the students, you know what the expectations are, why were you not doing them? Some proactive measures that could have been taken would be to review the set expectations, to review the equipment rules daily, to remind them of what they can and can't do, and perhaps have a second adult out with the sub. Professional ethics would include student safety, student-to-teacher ratio, knowledge of playground rules and expectations. And that is my share for you all. Thank you very much for watching.